What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica and I talk about frugal living, fitness motivation, and minimalism. In this video, I'm going to give you some packing tips for a cruise I just went on and some basic traveling tips when cruising. So let's get into it. Okay, tip number 5, I think. So when you're going through your online check-in and stuff on Carnival's website and it asks what check-in time do you want, you don't have to. This is fairly new because everyone used to just go to the cruise terminal like all at the same time and it was just chaotic. But you can arrive later than your check-in time. They just don't want you to arrive earlier than that. And the ship doesn't leave until like 4 o'clock anyway. So like our check-in time was 1:30, but we were in no rush because we had until like, I don't know, 3:30 or 4 to check in and then get on the ship. We don't want to cut it that close, but I'm just saying, just because you have a check-in time, you don't have to be right there right exactly at that time. They just don't want everyone there at the same time for check-in. So when you check in, they just verify your identification and everything one more time, and then they attach the form of payment to your folio card. I think I have a folio card to show you. 1 second. Here's one of my old folio cards. I'm covering up the folio number and stuff, but it looks like a debit card. And on here it tells you your muster station and it's got your folio number, but it does not have your room number on these folio cards, and that's important. So when you're out, you've always got your card. Every time you're buying something, the crew member asks for your folio card, and what they do is when they scan it, they can see the picture of whoever's supposed to be on that account. So if it doesn't look like you, they'll call you out and they'll probably call security and stuff. It's basically your debit card and your room key all in one. And this is what's linked to your debit card. However you're gonna pay for the stuff you're getting on the ship while you're on the ship, it's gonna connect and you're gonna get the bill, and it's gonna like charge like the next day after you get off the ship. But they don't put your room number on here so that like strangers and stuff or creepy crew members, they don't know what room you're in. So that's why they do that. I recommend taking a picture of your room number with your phone or writing it on your hand, something like that, to remember what is your room number. Which brings me to my next tip. I don't remember what number it is. I think number 6. So what we did for my mom's birthday is we decorated the door really nice. But this is also a great way to remember which one is your room. So it's all magnets. So the door's magnet. The walls inside your cabin are magnets. So you can bring like magnetic hooks and stuff to hang stuff on because there's not a lot of surface area. But definitely consider decorating your room door, the door to your room. So it's just easy to find for those late nights. Okay, next tip, I think it's number 7. When you're on the cruise and you interact with these crew members, take note of their name and like what their job is, because Carnival sends you a survey like a week or so after you get off the ship, and that's when you can recognize the crew members that were just amazing. And this is one of my favorite parts because this can really help a crew member's career. And you know, if someone is just awesome, stands out, and you want to recognize them, you can do it in this survey. But I understand one of the issues that I realized is a week after the cruise, you've kind of forgotten a lot of their names and what they did. So what I started doing on my phone on my notes is I would take note of their name and what they did, why I want to recognize them. So when the survey came, I can just copy and paste from my notes onto the survey. And I don't want to misspell their name because a lot of them have this really cool exotic names. So on like the last day or second to last day, I've got my phone out on my notes and I like to take down their name, where they're from, what their job is, and that's how I can remember to accurately recognize them in the survey. I highly, highly recommend that. So my 8th tip is for my back-to-back cruising people. So a back-to-back is when you stay on the ship and you're doing 2 cruises back to back. With the whole COVID stuff going on and the testing, Carnival will tell you like a day or 2 before the end of the cruise, if you're a back-to-back cruiser, where you need to go, and they'll do a rapid test for you. So you don't have to worry about getting off the ship, finding somewhere to take a test, and getting back on the ship. Carnival does all that if you're a back-to-back cruiser. This is what my mom did. So she actually went on a triple back-to-back for her 70th birthday extravaganza. So like a day before the end of the cruise, they gave her, they slipped a note under her door and they told her where to report at what time, and then she went there and then she had the rapid test, and they told her to wait in her room for 20 minutes, and then They said if you don't get a call, you're good to go after 20 minutes. If you get a call, then we're gonna have to do a double test because something was off or could be positive. Thankfully, she didn't get a call, so she was good to go for her 3 back-to-back cruises. So the 7th tip I have for you is dealing with cash. They have ATMs on the cruise ships. They have about 3 or 4, if not more. The issue is that when you take money off of these ATMs, it charges you about $6.50 per transaction. I have USA, so if I take money out of an ATM, I'll get reimbursed that ATM fee. But if you don't get reimbursed your ATM fees, I recommend bringing the cash with you on the ship ahead of time, because when you get off in port, most places do take debit cards, but some places only take cash. You also want cash when you're tipping people, like if people help you with your luggage on and off the ship, you want to tip them. If you get an Uber or a taxi, you want to tip them in cash, things like that. Also, you can tip in cash like the bar waiters, you could tip them in cash. You can write it on the receipt, or you can just give them cash, or you can just give them a casino chip. That's what we usually do, just give them casino money. Or if you get room service, you can tip them in cash. Just things to consider. Cash does come in handy, and it is expensive to get cash out of the ATM on the ship. Tip number 8, I think. So Carnival now has edible straws. So when you get a drink, you get this sugary straw that melts really quick. But they also sell straws made out of metal and rubber, so they don't have any plastic straws anymore. So if you ask for a straw, it's gonna be that sugar one, unless you want to pay for the metal or the rubber straws. And those were expensive. It was like $5 for a pack of metal straws, and I don't even remember how much the rubber straw was. They came with brushes and stuff, but I recommend if you want to have straws, just pack them in your suitcase and bring them yourself. You can bring your own straws, but they don't have plastic straws, so recommend just bringing your own. It'll save you a bunch of money. Tip number 9 is that, so now you have to wear your masks on the cruise ship when you're inside. When you're outdoors, we didn't have to wear a mask, like by the pool and stuff. We weren't wearing a mask. I can't remember what the rule officially was, but people outside were not wearing a mask. Only the workers were wearing a mask. But if we were like in line for a buffet or food or something, we were wearing a mask, whether it was indoors or outdoors. Once we were inside the ship, we were wearing masks. So we had to wear a mask a lot of the time. So because of that, I recommend bringing some disposable masks instead of like the cloth, or like reusing the same mask over and over again, because they got, gross and sweaty and stuff. So if you had disposable masks, you could just wear it and then throw it away when it got gross. So recommend bringing disposable masks. So tip number 10, this has to deal with getting off the ship. So you basically have 2 options. You can like carry your own luggage off the ship all the way to your car from your room, or you can put your luggage out the night before the ship docks, and once you get off the ship, down by the parking garage, your luggage is there for you. So that's what we've always done, except for one time, but I'll talk about that in another video. We usually put our luggage outside the room the night before. So when people get off the ship, I don't know why everyone is always in a hurry to get off the ship. If you have a flight to catch, there's a special group where you can meet and get off the ship in time. There's a shuttle. Carnival takes you to the airport. It's like no stress at all. What our family does, we take our time. We have to be out of the room by like 8:30, which is no problem. So our family, we're up, we're dressed. We put our luggage out the night before, and then we meet, and then we go to a dining room and we sit and enjoy breakfast together one last time. So we're not in a rush to get off the ship. And the cruise we went on, it was only like half capacity. I think there was only 1,400 people. I think like 4,000 people can fit on that ship. It was, I think it was a Carnival Magic. I really don't care which ship it is or where it goes. I just like the atmosphere of being on the ship. I love the crew. I love all of the things about it. So we're not in a hurry to get off the ship. We eat our meal and then we just walk off the ship. And by the time we're done with breakfast, there's no line anywhere. We go down to floor 3, the lobby, and we scan our folio card one more time, our sailing sign, just to let them know like, yep, we're not on the ship anymore. And we walked off the ship. Once we were off the ship, we went through customs where we had to show them our passport or birth certificate and our ID. And then we just grabbed our luggage and we were good to go. Okay, I've got one more bonus tip for you guys. So on the ship, they have these duty-free stores, tax-free stores. And in these stores, you can buy alcohol. You can buy like large bottles of alcohol if you want. However, you cannot open that bottle. They hold it for you. So just because you buy it, you don't get to go party it up in your room or wherever once you buy it. So these bottles, they're either you pick them up like the day before or it's delivered to your room the night before. I've never done this because I just feel like it's a waste of money because you can't open it on the ship, so why do you want to spend that money? But just know that the alcohol you buy in that store, you can't open it on the ship. However, before you get on the ship, you can order alcohol delivered to your room and soda and stuff. You can order those delivered to your room and that you can open. Like if you want a bottle of tequila delivered to your room, before you get on the ship, you can order it, be delivered to your room, and you can cocktail. So you can go to your room, make a cocktail, and go back up. I don't think you can carry the bottle around with you all over the ship. I don't think you can do that, but just know that's an option. All right guys, that's all I have for you in this video. Let me know what you think down below and I'll see you next time.